Okay, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try to give you guys an update. Let you know right now that Mikey and Kenny are, well, for starters, it's Thursday morning. Mikey and Kenny are going to get tires for the Newport, and also to pick up our rental car, because we're going to try to take a rental car the rest of the trip. And so the Forward Look guys understand what's going on here. I thought I'd show you Kenny's Newport and just talk about some of the problems that we've been encountering and why we think we're just going to run out of time and we need to go to Plan B. So let me spin it around. Here we go. All right. For starters, if anyone's been reading on what's been going on, we've had all kinds of warning signs about some grinding noises coming from this rear end, that it might be a bad set of bearings or something. And we already destroyed Kenny's drum pulling tool just trying to get the drum off. It was that stubborn. And you know, after pounding on this thing for an hour, they just decided that, you know, this was just fighting us too much. Mikey was trying to think that maybe what he needed to do was to actually replace the whole axle, and then you come up with, you know, the problems of trying to find something that's used, that's good. Kenny had something that was sitting here, but apparently the car had been in a flood, and they weren't sure how reliable that was. And I mean, that was just problem number one. Problem number two is when Kenny fired up the car and checked it all out, we didn't have any working taillights. Not a big problem when you first think about it. You know, you can just try to track that down. But we start accumulating more problems over and over what's going on. Of course, you know that we had issues with the heater switch and the little vacuum nipples on the back of the heater switch, and how that was going to have to be dealt with, either to patch in and override or replace the switch. But going over the Rockies especially, we were going to need some working defrosters on here, and you can see how that's broken, along with a few other sundry things here that need to be fixed. I can also tell you that, well, when I got here later, I actually made the later flight getting out here, and by the time I arrived, I thought, well, maybe I'll start to dive into a tune-up, and I wanted to hear how the engine was running. It was running pretty rough, and although we started to replace spark plugs and dig into it, we'd already lost the light by then. And thinking about just how much time this was all going to take to get all this taken care of. And in the meantime, Kenny and Mike had told me that as the car was running, they noticed a vacuum leak coming from the brake booster. That was another issue. And then a further issue we saw was that the power steering pump wasn't mounted correctly. All the hoses had to be replaced, yada, yada, yada. So it started to be quite a project, and there just, quite honestly, wasn't enough time for us to accomplish everything that we needed to do to maintain our schedule. So Mike bought the bullet and made a really good decision to say, hey, it's time to look at Plan B. They've lined up car transportation for his car, and we're going to hop in a rental and maintain our trip on the way back and hopefully have a lot of fun and salvage this. But I can tell you that when Mikey gets this back to Wisconsin and gets a chance to tune it up and get her all running, he's going to have one pretty looking car. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Fairly straight. He's just got a little dinger here in the front that he needs to work on, but that's no big deal. And just overall a very, very pretty car. He's very happy with it. I can't blame him one bit. So, Thursday morning from Vegas, waiting for Mike and Kenny to come back. We're just going to take and we're going to throw the tires back on, make sure everything's secure and ready for the transport company to take this car back to Wisconsin. We're going to get in a rental and we're going to head off and see the Forward Look guys on the way back and have a good time. Till then.